This segment is brought to you by Kansas Wheat. Learn more at rediscoverwheat.org.
Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Conrad Cabas. The annual Kansas State Fair begins on the Friday following Labor Day and goes on for 10 days at the Kansas State Fairgrounds in Hutchinson, Kansas. This year I traveled down to receive a first-hand experience in Kansas's single largest event. I had to say there were so many people walking around enjoying the sights and foods.
Favorite part about the State Fair is probably the Pronto Pup and the root beer.
The history of this fair spans back to January of 1873, when the prairie town of Hutchinson was barely 1 year old. A group of businessmen met and organized the Reno County Agricultural Society. On September 23rd and 24th of that year, the society hosted a fair which was held in a small stable behind the town's only bank on the northwest corner of Sherman in Maine. The success of that first event spawned a bigger fair the following year and had several incarnations until 40 years later, the first Kansas State Fair was made. The first official Kansas State Fair was held September 13th through the 20th of 1913. The September 13th, 1913 Hutchinson News carried the bold headline, "Kansas's Real State Fair has an auspicious opening." Some of the older attractions at the fair include the Ye-O Mill. The Ye-O Mill was completed in time for the opening date of the 1915 fair. Every year, a fair bigger and better than ever is anticipated and delivered. The exhibits become more interesting and far-ranging, the crowds larger and more enthusiastic, the entertainment more varied and star-studded. The fair annually attracts 350,000 people from all 105 Kansas counties and several other states. My favorite building on the Kansas State Fair campus has to be the Pride of Kansas building, which houses the famous butter sculpture and giant pumpkins from all over the state. I caught up with several vendors and ag producers in this building, one of which was with the Kansas State Beekeepers Association.
The Kansas State Beekeepers Association has several bee yards throughout the state of Kansas. The honey products come from those state yards. They're managed by volunteers. They bottle the honey, get it to Hutchinson for the state fair, and then we resell them to the public.
The association sells many different products, ranging from bars of soap to honey sticks.
We have liquid honey, which is what is most common. It's in the jars, the bears. We have comb honey, which is just honeycomb in a container. Then we also have creamed honeys, which are finely crystallized honeys that are honey spreads. We have different flavors. We have raspberry, blackberry, maple pecan, apple cinnamon, and various others. We are also selling bee pollen, beeswax, and then the big hit with the kids is the honey sticks.
The Kansas State Beekeepers Association is an educational source of information that beekeepers can join and learn about.
The Kansas Honey Producers is a very friendly group of people, very willing to educate anyone who wants to learn about bees, and just great all around.
This hog is head over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.